We're talking about Thad-Matta, who I think is a fascinating coach to talk about because he gets talked about a lot less than other people in this town. Ari, Bill, Doug. This season for Thad-Matta at Ohio State. Last year, we spent a lot of words and a lot of breath saying, if you think he should be fired, you are a crazy person. Relax. I don't think that anymore. Like, this is a new year. It's another year. I think, again, if you're going to start beating the drum in the first month, you're crazy. But, Bill, is this a big year for Thad-Matta?
Yeah, for sure. I think that the big thing people look to from last season is obviously the NIT berth, but I think it's more sort of dysfunction within the team, and obviously that culminated in 4 of the 5 freshmen they brought in transferring. And that's on Thad-Matta. And Thad-Matta kind of came out and put that out there to the world. And I think in doing so kind of put a lot of onus on himself that he needs to get it turned around. He brought in new freshmen. So I think if those guys pan out, then I think everything's fine. But if he misses again on a recruiting class, and that's only one of the things people criticize, but if he misses again on this recruiting class, I don't think he will. But if he does, he has major problems.
All right, you've covered Thad a lot over the years. He's a good basketball coach. There's no doubt about it. But when you see where he was, and that's, you raise the bar by having success, where he was, where this program was, and where it is now, do you think this is reasonable talk?
I think it is. I think it's reasonable. The question always is what would Ohio State have if it weren't for him? But I guess I'll let you probably get into that. But I think the idea of Ohio State was at its best because they were bringing in NBA caliber players. And I think this is a different type of Thad team that has a bunch of upperclassmen. The 6 leading scorers are returning. Can he develop this into a functional team that works together, that gels together, that is around each other for multiple years? And during that time where they were at their best, I'm not sure that was always the case. I think, there were a few years where they had guys like Leidy and stuff who had been around a lot, but they relied on a lot of guys in the past who were NBA talented guys. And now, can he really do that? And if they miss the tournament again, you're starting to wonder, the only way Ohio State is successful is if they get a Jared Sullinger, but those aren't really in Columbus that often. So then you question whether or not he's the right guy for the job, because I think Ohio State, for the long term, is a program that is going to be successful when built in teams like this. And if you can't build this team, then you have to question yourself.
So I'm not saying that if they lose this year, he should be fired. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think it is now a reasonable discussion point of Thad-Matta can't only live off the past. It's okay to say, what do we see now? Now, the other point is they were down last year. Again, that down is not all that down. They didn't have a losing record. It's not. They weren't 5-13 in the Big Ten. They were 11-7 in the Big Ten. So I think we feel like they're going to have a good team this year, but I do think a big thing that has happened, right? They've changed their recruiting strategy. They are focusing more locally, focusing more on Ohio. You see it with this class. It's guys who are coming in to have Andre Weston. His brother Caleb is coming next year. There is something coming here, and I think it's different than what they were trying to do. So I think you need to let that play out. But if this is not a great year, I think it's okay to talk about. I think he still has bought more time than that. But I think this is important for Ohio State basketball, and I think it'll be interesting. He's Bill. He's Ari. I'm Doug. Thanks for watching at cleveland.com.